Okay, hi, I'm Steven. I'm going to be presenting for my group. Just for context, I'm doing the book tracker project, where essentially we're making an app for people that are reading or in a book club that want to track their books or write note about books, rate the books, everything like that. If they want to share it to social media platforms, and then if they want just like a one-in place to search online, so we can search on Amazon, Chirp, any kind of things for your books. So just to look at the requirements real quick to show the task we completed, we started with Node.js. We did front end with React, and then our back end we used MongoDB. As far as posting it to the web, we decided to not use AWS just because it was a lot easier to use render for our back end and then Vercel for our front end. And then just as our background for our code, I used Axios to connect the front end and back end, and then obviously we have everything else. But to show the website, this is our site online, and just to start, it links you to the login page. Sign in with Google works, but it only works for our unique accounts because Google's very stingy with account data. Because we're going to be storing it to a database. So it doesn't work, at least if this were to be published and like maintained, then it would work, but it would have to be approved through Google. But like the API connection is functioning. So I'll just create an account here. Let's say our example user at Gmail, and we'll give it some password, and we can sign up here. Account created, we can log in. If I put in the wrong password, obviously it's not going to let me do it. And then if I log in, it works. And that can actually be checked here that it did save as a new user. And boom, our example at Gmail and our encrypted password. So now that we're on the site, we have a reading list page, note page, a page to share your book to social media, some way to search, and then our frequently asked questions. Obviously there's nothing here because we just made the account. But if we wanted to add something, we can just go to book search. And let's say green eggs and ham, and it'll populate the 10 most accurate results to the title or author you entered. And from here you can add it to one of your lists to read. Okay, let's say we add it to these two lists and we go back to our reading list. They'll populate. Within these lists, you can click on a book, you can change your completion, you can move the list it's on, you can even edit the author or title if you want. And you can also edit this to create a note directly about this book. So if you don't want to go to the notes page, make a new note, hand fill in the title, author, note. You can just do it directly here. So let's say my new note, create note. And it pops up here. There's ways to edit. You can delete. As far as CRUD operations, we have create, edit, delete for both all of our notes and our reading list. There's also ordering. So let's say you choose this, you want to move it to want to read instead, it'll move dynamically. And then this is set to only show 2 books at a time. And if you want to read more, you can just hit view all, or you can click your list and it'll display everything you have here. You can also make a new list. Maybe you're working with a book club and you want to write all of your books with the book club. And it's good. Let's say book club list, create list, and it'll add it here. And you can add lists and even delete them. So all of your new lists you can delete. All these base prefab lists we just want to keep here. Our notes you can also search. So let's say you have a bunch of notes, you have a specific titled note, and you search, it'll pop up only that note. And you can also have different ways to sort. Our next page, I guess, let me create a note so it'll pop up here real quick. Test note, test author content. And let's add just some example book, Python 101. Oh, there we go, currently reading. And if we go to share, we can either share our reading progress or our notes. And this will generate both a shareable link. So once this is published, if this was a maintained app, the shareable link would work. And then there's also direct links that will auto post. So like if you have a Facebook account, if you have a Twitter account, it'll auto populate as a post. And the same kind of thing can be said for this. It tracks the books that you have and your completion percentage, and it'll populate something nice that you can post through the link. As far as other functionalities, we have pretty much just those two Google APIs. We have all of these CRUD operations, and then we also have the in-app web searching. So let's say like you want to search up some Harry Potter book, you can choose any of these websites to search, and it'll automatically search with inputs here on all the sites. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think that covers all of our functionality and all of the video requirements. If you want to test it out online, obviously the link will be provided on Canvas, and I think that's it. We can also, if you want to verify that all of our account saving is correct, this is just all our example accounts that we've created. It stores the user ID, their username, and the list that it's in. Thank you.